Can the stipulations, the requirements, be modified if the air quality standard is attained? Specifically, could restrictions on wood stoves for new construction and deed restrictions be modified? And they ask a little further, are the burning curtailments, which are based on the current PM 2.5 levels, if the levels are low for a given period of time, could the curtailment be called?
I'm not quite sure I followed the end of the question, but I'll take a stab at the first part first. So typically what happens when a community comes into attainment with a standard, and you saw this with your carbon monoxide plan, and I'll use that as an example. So when a community comes into attainment with a standard, the next plan we do, because there's always another plan, right? So we have to do a maintenance plan. So when you come into attainment with a standard, then we work with the community and we can develop a maintenance plan. Once you've attained and you're in a maintenance status, we have to demonstrate that we can continue to maintain the standard out into the future for two 10-year periods. So, but at that point, we have the opportunity to revisit control strategies. And if we can demonstrate that that we can maintain the standard out into the future and remove some controls and still maintain the standard, that's the opportunity that we have at that point to try and do that. All of those measures then become essentially contingency measures to that maintenance plan that can be re-triggered if for some reason we violated the standard again. But the answer to the question is, could something change once we attain? The answer is yes, but only to the extent that we can continue to demonstrate out into the future that that the standard will continue to be maintained. Now, the example I can give you is in the context of your carbon monoxide plan. As vehicle technology got better and cleaner, and over time and other things in the community plugging in, other things were put into place, you had a vehicle inspection and maintenance program. And at the time that we developed the maintenance plan for carbon monoxide, the new technology vehicles were just so much cleaner that there was a point where we could make the case to EPA and demonstrate that that program was not needed to maintain the carbon monoxide standard. And we suspended the programs, and the regulations still exist and could be re-triggered if we needed to, but we've never come to the point where we had to reinstitute that program for carbon monoxide. So that's an example where we made it a change to a control program that was instrumental in bringing down emissions over time for carbon monoxide, but over the long term it wasn't required, at least to this point, to maintain that standard once we got there. And it could be that there are aspects of our fine particulate matter controls that as we get cleaner and cleaner wood heaters and other things in place, that there may be aspects of these programs that could be revisited. I don't know that that will be the case. We do have an example in Southeast Alaska. Juneau has had wood burning bans since the 1990s. And they still have them. They very rarely have to call them, but they're still on the books and they still use that control program. So it can depend on the local situation, but there are opportunities there.